One time for old times. What do you say we play some football as we are underway from Oakland in the John Madden Legacy game? And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. So it's the NFC Stars who will get the ball first. And, Charles, as we alluded to, we've got a different era of coach on each sideline. So the man coaching this NFC squad, we'll call him Young John Madden. This is a coach who was trying to establish a foothold in the NFL and on the cusp of doing it very successfully.
Yeah, you think back to that period, those early days as the coach of the Raiders, the late 60s in the AFL, and then in the NFL in the early 70s. Coach was a guy who was ahead of his time. The Raiders were one of the first teams to have mini camps, one of the first to film practice, because he wanted to practice coaching as much as he could. And his teams, they were successful right from the start of his head coaching tenure.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. So as we mentioned at the top, well, let's take you through the life of John Madden. And, you know, it's very fitting that we're here back in the Bay Area, not just because John's so associated with Raider football, but also because this was where he spent his formative years.
Yeah, he grew up over Daly City with his buddy John Robinson, who would also become an NFL head coach. And he played his high school ball at Jefferson High, eventually wound up playing tackle at the University of Oregon and later Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Played well enough that in 1958, he was a 21st round draft pick of the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right, the draft took 30 rounds then.
So, Charles, as mentioned, we've got another Coach Madden over here on the AFC sideline. Of course, his Raiders, members of the AFC West. So this is a conference he battled in for his entire career. And you think about the landscape of the NFL as he was getting into the back half of his tenure. It was a golden era for coaches. You had Don Shula, Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, Bud Grant. But it was John Madden who had the best winning percentage of them all, CD. 759, the best ever.
Brandon, it's hard to believe he could be so successful in a conference with all those great teams. The Steelers won 4 Super Bowls. The Dolphins won 2 and were a mainstay in the playoffs. The Colts were tough. The Broncos came out late and went to a Super Bowl themselves. But against Hall of Fame coaches, John Madden's record, 36, 16, and 2. That's pretty incredible. His Raiders were a factor each and every year.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Charles, you mentioned Coach was a 21st round draft pick back in 1958. It was the Philadelphia Eagles who selected him. But unfortunately for John, knee problems, they just continued to dog him. He was hurt in his first training camp. Actually never saw the field as a player in the NFL. But it was still during his time with the Eagles. You and I were talking about this before going on air, that you could start to see the light bulb going on for what his career path might entail.
And it went on in a big way, didn't it? Because while he was rehabbing his knee, he started to spend a lot of time breaking down film with the Eagles with quarterback Norm Van Brocklin, the future Hall of Famer and future head coach in the NFL. Remember, Norm Van Brocklin coached with the Falcons. He coached with the Vikings. And was there during that time. I think Coach Madden realized his love of football and love for teaching, combining all that together, and that meant being a football coach. So in 1960, began his coaching career at a small college south of San Luis Obispo called Allen Hancock, and then later at San Diego State University under another legendary coach, the guy who could throw it around pretty well, Don Coryell.
Brady's throw there complete, and he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. On play action, now Brady. They'll roll him out right. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Tom Brady flashing the mobility, scrambling there for a first down. Here's Allen. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. And he is into the end zone for an AFC touchdown. Marcus Allen, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the AFC is in for 6. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Another run here with Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Charles, you know, it was in the early 1960s that a young John Madden made the acquaintance of the owner of the Oakland Raiders, one Al Davis, of course. And the two, they really bonded, would become one of the best owner-coach duos in NFL history. And to take it a step further, Al Davis became someone who John referred to as his best friend.
Yeah, 1967, Brandon. Al Davis hired Coach Madden to be a linebackers coach. Remember, this was still the AFL at that point. We had not merged totally with the NFL. And Coach Madden, he paid dividends almost immediately. Helped the Raiders win the AFL title in 1968. And that meant a date with the Green Bay Packers in what was now known as Super Bowl II. But by 1969, at the age of 32, just 32, Brandon, John Madden assumed the mantle of head coach of the Oakland Raiders. And what a ride he, the Raiders, and the NFL were about to go on.
Oh, I nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And it'll be a short field ahead as the AFC takes over, 1st and 10. Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. They're going to hurry back to the line now. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Brady to Allen on the dump off. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Brady to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Allen. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup of someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. On the toss, here's Allen. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. The career leader in field goals made knocks that one through. And coming up in the second half, we'll run through John's post-coaching triumphs. But for now, we present a special tribute to the man of the hour, narrated by the Raiders' own Trey Mosley. The AFC going to get the football first here as we are back underway from Oakland in the John Madden Legacy game. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The offense for the AFC set to go now. On play action, it's Brady. Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
So now, Charles, and to pick up the story we've been telling, John Madden at 42, he had just completed a 10-year stint as the coach of the Raiders. He wants to step away a bit from the grind of coaching, but he doesn't want to step away from the game of football. So he ends up signing on with CBS in 1979 to try his hand at broadcasting. And much like his coaching career, he was pretty much an instant success.
Partner, he really connected with the people right from the start, and people may not remember he wasn't even on the #1 team in the beginning. He worked his way up. But the same things that made him a great coach made him a great broadcaster. The ability to show the big picture, yet break it down into the details. That's what he did with his teams. That's what he did with the people. That way, he was simple to understand, yet insightful for viewers. And he did with that big personality that he had, one that connected with everyone.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Now Allen. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense. And
touchdown! Tony Gonzalez, a 5-yard touchdown. And the AFC is in for 6. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And that makes our score 17-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with an AFC touchdown. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken from about the 12. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. On first down, Favre. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
So for Coach Madden, Charles, by 1981, his broadcasting career is really taking off. He's elevated to the network's #1 booth that calls all the big matchups. And he gets the plum assignment of calling Super Bowl 16, 49ers and Bengals, and he's teamed up with Pat Summerall. And that pairing ultimately would go on to be one of the most influential in sports broadcasting history.
Influential not just in us listening to them. Remember, they went on and called 8 Super Bowls together. And how they put together kind of the template that all of us broadcasters follow now. Sitting down with the head coaches and the quarterbacks and the stars of each team before a ball game to get extra information. And the way that those two paired together, Pat Summerall, short, concise, to the point, and turned it over to Coach Madden to fill in all the big details.
And the NFC punt team out there now as he's on here to punt it away. This is fielded at the 7. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the AFC will have it 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. He's going to float this one deep right side. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield.
So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
Back now here on EA Sports.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Shifts free at the 15.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll run with Allen. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He'll throw with Brady. And he's got it. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You got to cover him, too.
And he will take this in for an AFC touchdown. Marcus Allen with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the AFC is in for 6. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with an AFC touchdown. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown. Randy Moss, 72 yards. And the NFC able to cut into that lead. They'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
As you mentioned, CD, talking about John Madden, the broadcaster, he called 8 Super Bowls with Pat Summerall, 3 more with Al Michaels later in his career. He spent nearly 3 decades in the booth all told. And not only was he beloved for his mannerisms, we know that, but he was an innovator as well.
Yeah, Brandon, you talk about things like the telestrator, which totally became identified with him, and now it's a staple for all analysts to have in the booth. And then you think about things like turducken on Thanksgiving, when he used words like boom and pow. He helped create the All-Madden team. He was a very popular commercial pitch man. And even the Madden Cruiser was unique, and you had to be someone to get a ride on it, too.
And quickly, they get to the line. Caught on the slant. Touchdown. Tony Gonzalez. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the AFC is in for 6. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And they open the lead up now to 25. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. From the 10. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Favre. Got a man, it's Randy Moss. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a first down. From the shotgun, it's Favre. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. From the gun, it's Favre. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Now a toss play. Allen. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one. So it's a win here for the AFC on an incredible afternoon of football and remembering the life of John Madden.